have a dream that one day this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. I have a dream. A nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream.
Officer Demasier, and right now I am standing in front of the City of Miami Black Police Precinct and Courthouse Museum. Now you may have seen this building driving past on I-95 and never actually knew what it was. We're going to check in with Terrence. He works here and he's going to give us a tour today. So come on. So now we are standing inside of the museum, and I'm joined here by Terrence.
Yes.
He is the man with the plan. He knows it all. He's going to take over the tour from here, so take it away.
Well, I'm just going to give you, so I want to make sure that you get the basis, because I do want you guys to come back and visit with us. So here you see an actual replica for the bike. So the black officers back in the 1944 were not given any type of car transportation. Now we did have transportation, but they weren't given transportation right away. They didn't receive transportation until late 1950. But they would put their suspects here on the handlebars, and they would ride them into this precinct. Yes, they would actually either ride them or walk. Now we can't be remiss to mention these patches. These patches are the current City of Miami Police Department patch. Prior to that, that was this patch right here. You see this triangle. This patch right here was the original patch that was used for Miami Police Department. Dr. Ingram actually designed the patch that you now see. Ingram was also the first black to ride a motorcycle in the City of Miami. So he was really a pioneer. Chief Clarence Dixon, he joined the police department in the 1960s. He later went on to become our first black police chief in 1983. And so we were excited to have Chief Dixon as our police chief and opening up that conversation later on, all the way throughout 1965. Here is an actual jail. This is the actual holding cells. They would have about eight individuals in these holding cells, and they were not here for long term, right? This was just until they were heard up in court, in the courtroom, which is directly upstairs. But these holding cells were for, this side was for the men, and then there's another side that we have on the other side of the building, which is actually where the women would be housed until they were brought up for court arraignment. Again, typically they stayed anywhere between 48 hours, 72 hours in this space. So here is the actual booking station. When a suspect was brought in, they would literally be brought to this place. Here's where you had your white supervisors typically stayed on this area of the desk, and they would come here, be booked, and taken in for booking and custody so that pictures would be taken as well as fingerprint. We like to also highlight as far as where we are in the history. We wouldn't have made possible if it wasn't for the first five. These first five were the pioneers to taking the challenge on implementing and integrating in the law enforcement. This building has been preserved as a result of our retired police officers who fought in 2001 to preserve this building, and so we highlight them as well, with our oldest officer currently that we know today as being Lieutenant Archie McKay, who just turned 95 over the pandemic holidays. Okay, and so we cannot go without letting you see the third aspect of this great historical space. One of the reasons why this is the only one in the nation is because it has a booking, it has a jail, but it also has this. Its very own courtroom. That's right. Judge Lawson Thomas, who you see pictured right in the center, was the actual presiding judge over this actual precinct, the one and only first of its kind to actually only hear cases of blacks, of Negroes of color, would be heard by Judge Lawson Thomas. Following Judge Lawson Thomas, you have Judge Johnson, who is actually a native Bahamian of this community as well. And then we have our 5 Jewish judges who we really like to highlight because they were responsible for also helping keep the courtroom alive. These 5 Jewish judges actually put their credentials on the line to actually serve out of this precinct, and so we're highlighting them as well throughout our history because it is all part of our collective history.
So thank you, Terrence. Thank you for the opportunity and coming out and showing us. But you think that's all? You have no idea. This is a place you have to come and take a tour for yourself.
Yes, and you can go ahead and book your next tour online at www.historicalblackprecinct.org. That's www.historicalblackprecinct.org. And we'd love to have you.
For everyone who has had a major contribution for me to even be able to be here in this museum today and wear this uniform, this patch, thank you to everyone who has made a contribution. I literally could not be here without you.